But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong, it had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man. And, you know, you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there. And even when he was throwing it early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intent.
Any kind of success or any kind of result, especially after that performance. Usyk's getting better and better. He just improves every time he fights, and now he's bigger and thicker set, 20 pound heavier tonight than what he was when he beat Usyk.
Usyk looks unbelievable in his latest training videos. No other fighter trains like him. His routines are so unusual that they sharpen his vision to an amazing level. It's like he can spot punches before they even come. His movements are smooth, sharp, and almost unreal. This one-of-a-kind training style is what makes him nearly impossible to hit, and why opponents struggle to figure him out in the ring. People question if Usyk could handle younger, stronger heavyweights. Going into his rematch with Daniel Dubois, the pressure was on, but instead of looking nervous, Usyk gave a performance that shut everyone up. His footwork, timing, and calmness were on another level. Russ Somber said Usyk had something to prove in, and he did just that. He controlled the fight, took apart Dubois with skill, and reminded the world he's still a top-level heavyweight. It wasn't just a win, it was a message. Usyk is still the man to beat.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I had never seen him so intent on wanting to knock somebody out. You know, like it's the quickest knockout he scored, I think, in his professional career.
Yes,
I'd
even
have
at
to look
cruiserweight.
at it. Yeah, I'd have to look to be sure, but you know, it's the quickest knockout he scored. He was a man on a mission. He was really personally hurt and offended by the remarks made by Team Dubois, by George Fox, Don Charles' son, by Don himself. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was questioning Usyk's faith.
Yes.
Now you could question a lot. You can question his skill, question boxing, or whatever you want. Questioning his faith, bro.
Yeah.
That was something that really hit a chord, and you don't often, you know, Tyson Fury couldn't get to
he tried every head
mentally,
game in
right?
the book.
But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong. It had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man, and you know, you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there, and even when he was throwing it early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intentions.
Yeah, bad intentions, yeah.
He was throwing with bad intentions.
Usyk's legacy isn't just about boxing. At the height of his career, he chose to serve his country when war broke out in Ukraine, while others sought safety. He stepped up for his homeland. That choice earned him deep respect and proved he has the heart of both a champion and a patriot. From being doubted by some British fans and fighters to now being celebrated worldwide, Usyk's rise has been powerful. He never begged for respect, he earned it with both his fists and his actions.
Usyk's involvement in the war began when he enlisted in the Ukrainian Territorial Defense Forces after the Russian invasion. His decision to fight for Ukraine has had a profound impact on the country, making him a symbol of hope and resistance. Usyk's presence on the front lines has boosted the morale of the Ukrainian military and civilian population alike. So this man kept his heavyweight championship, continued to be heavyweight champion, no losses, nothing on his record, and still went and defended his country during war. Given that, you gotta give him the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. His accolades inside the ring match it. But now that I find this out, that the man was in the front line, and they said that even after the Fury fight, he was keeping in contact with the soldiers, and he was, you know, boosting the morale and boosting his countrymen and raising money for the war, regardless of the politics, whether the war should be going on or not, and who should be killing who, it don't matter. The man went to war.
Carl Froch has praised Usyk's steady rise to dominance. With each fight, he looks sharper, stronger, and smarter. Froch said Joseph Parker wouldn't be a real challenge, especially when looking at Parker's past losses. He even suggested Usyk might consider retiring soon, since he's already done in all multiple division titles, tough defenses, and proven greatness. Facing someone like Moses wouldn't add anything new. Froch's view echoes what many believe. Usyk has nothing left to prove.
Here tonight than what it was when he beat Fury, which I said earlier. He just looks like a big, solid heavyweight, big, solid, dangerous heavyweight, but I'd like to see him retire. He's 38 years old. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him, the age, and there's nothing left to do. He's made an absolute fortune, and he don't need it anymore. He's done it. He's clocked it. He's completed it. It's like he's got the cheat code, and it's like it's not fair on everybody else. So I'd like to see Usyk retire. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see him fight next. Somebody like Moses Atoma, I just don't think is going to be ready. I think if you're managing Moses, you need to take your time with him. You can't be chucking him in there. People say, yeah, chuck him in there with him, fight him, see how he goes. If he gets beat, he's lost to Usyk. But it could destroy his soul. It could take away that young, promising prospect that Atoma is. He could have a good future, and to fight somebody like Usyk now, if he got wiped out and got disheartened, it could be the end of his career. So I just think Usyk now, really, nobody can say anything to Usyk if he retires now after that win. He's done everything there is to do. Fury twice, AJ twice, now Dubois twice. There's nobody else left to beat. He's done it. Usyk should just hang the gloves up. He's been a fantastic addition to the heavyweight division since coming up from cruiserweight. He's been absolutely brilliant, and what he did tonight against Dubois was nothing short of just, he made it look easy. And I don't want to disrespect Daniel Dubois, but he just made it look easy, and he does make rounds look easy, doesn't he? Whoever is in with, whether he's in with Tyson Fury, whether he's in with AJ, he makes it look easy.
Joseph Parker keeps getting mentioned as a possible opponent, but most think he's not a serious threat. It feels like a mismatch in skill and experience. Oladipo floated a different idea. Bring back Derek Chisora for a rematch. His reasoning? Entertainment. Chisora brings hype, chaos, and a wild energy that turns any fight into a show. Still, when it comes to real competition, neither Parker nor Chisora seem capable of giving Usyk much trouble right now.
Here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the #1 for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. So, yeah, there must be loads of conversations going on right now. Loads of conversations. I did say this the other day, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, you know, when I was in the ring and I was interviewing Oleksandr Usyk, I was desperate because of my love for Joseph Parker. I was desperate for Joseph Parker to get, I know he got in the ring after, but I'm talking about on the zone. So whilst everyone is still in the stadium and everyone's still tuned in, I was desperate for him to kind of just jump in the ring. I was desperate for him to do it. Chisora was trying to do it. So Chisora knows how to play the game. And as much as people are like, what's Chisora doing? Chisora won't get the fight, but that's kind of what you got to do. And I know people are like, well, 1 second, it's not like that. It's ranking. Well, no, it's not though, is it? Because again, Oleksandr Usyk can vacate the belt. He can say no. You have to kind of do what Daniel Dubois did last time. Daniel Dubois, rightly or wrongly, got in the ring, pissed Usyk off. Usyk's like, okay, we'll fight then. Fuck it. If this is what you're doing, dude, we'll fight. And I felt like there was a time where I wanted Joseph Parker to almost nudge me. And I'm telling you now, you know, we're kind of told not to give the mic. I don't know if you see, I always hold on to the mic. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker, because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened. And all of a sudden, you're seeing Jake Paul in the ring doing a face-off. You're seeing all these, and I'm like, where's Joseph Parker? Where are you, Joseph?
It's no surprise that some people are comparing Usyk to Muhammad Ali. Even though their styles are different, they both show a kind of greatness that stands out. They don't just fight with skill, they use rhythm, timing, and clever tactics to outsmart their opponents. Usyk reads the fight like a book and takes it apart, just like Ollie used to. This comparison isn't about who's more famous, it's about how both treat boxing like an art. And that shows just how much Usyk is leaving his mark on today's boxing world.
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list. I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, but remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, man, it's hard to pick against Ali being the GOAT.
Roy Jones Jr. admitted he was shocked by how easily Usyk took apart Daniel Dubois. Dubois has size and power, but Jones said his strategy was way too basic to beat someone as smart and skilled as Usyk. Just being strong isn't enough. To beat Usyk, a fighter needs brains, constant adjustments, and perfect planning. Usyk studies his opponents like a chess player, spotting the tiniest patterns and using them. Jones made it clear, without a near-flawless plan, no one can beat him. Usyk doesn't just win, he breaks fighters mentally. Roy's honest take proves the gap between good and great. Usyk's real weapon isn't just power, it's his mind.
Oleksandr Usyk, what did you make of his display against Daniel Dubois last Saturday? It was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it was nothing less than I expected, because if you make a guy quit with a jab, Spencer, you know this, if you make a guy quit with a jab, how is that guy ever going to beat you? You understand me? I mean, that's just what the real facts are. Not that the kid had got a little bit better. He got a little more confidence because he had a win over Joshua, which was good, but confidence is just not enough to beat a guy like Usyk. You got to have some technique. You got to have some grit. You can't lose to him with a jab and think you're going to beat him. That's not going to work.
Well, you was a smaller guy that went up and won the world heavyweight title, one of the only ones to do that from middleweight up to heavyweight. How does someone beat Oleksandr Usyk? Is it the smaller guy? Is it the guy that's coming up in the weight divisions, as opposed to the bigger heavyweights?
No, the bigger guys could beat him, just gotta have the right fight plan. None of these guys fight him with the right fight plan. And I'm not gonna tell them the right fight plan because that's not my job to do. But you gotta have the right fight plan to fight Usyk. If you don't have the right fight plan, he's gonna destroy you.
What makes Usyk stand out from most champions is his mindset. Even as a unified champ, he stays humble. He never enters a fight thinking it will be easy. He trains hard, stays focused, and respects every opponent. That attitude keeps him sharp. While others' less success make them lazy, Usyk stays locked in. His pride isn't in the fame, it's in the work. That's why his performance never slips. No matter who he faces, his mental strength is as strong as his skills, and that's the key to his consistency.
What are the dangers that Daniel Dubois brings to you this time?
Daniel, young guy, Daniel dangerous every time because this guy have good punch and good boxing skill, but I must be careful because it's boxing, but I prepare for this fight.
Will you stop him this time, do you think, or will it go 12 rounds?
Listen, I prepare every time on 12th round because we with my coach, with my team, we prepare 12th round. But if I have chance, I do it.
Do you believe you will stop him?
Yes, of course.
Usyk's rise from cruiserweight to heavyweight champ wasn't just about gaining weight. It was a full mental and tactical shift. He didn't just bulk up, he changed his approach without losing what made him special. Beating Anthony Joshua twice proved he could outthink and outfight even the biggest names. But what truly makes him special is who he is outside the ring. He paused his career to defend Ukraine during the war. That choice says a lot about his character. He's not just a boxing star, he's a man of honor and values.
But he must go away and make the adjustments, do some learning. But that can only happen if he can let go of his dad. And I mean, when it comes to the boxing, the fact of the matter is, if his dad was good enough for the job, he would already be in his corner. Oleksandr Usyk, 3-time undisputed champion of the world, there's no doubt in my mind, he takes the #1 spot for pound, and not forgetting, at 2 different weights. And it's not just that, it's the fashion in which he does it. It's clinical. He cleaned up in the amateurs, then the pros. He's just built different. He's been fighting the best, no questions asked, going into the lion's den time and time again. His wins are so clean, he's not in wars, he takes care of business, comes back like he's been to the shops. And amongst all of this, he's been to war. The way he carries himself is impeccable. I couldn't think of a better man, a person, to represent the sport of boxing. He's beaten the best at heavyweight, not once, but twice. AJ, Fury, and now Daniel Dubois. At this point, I just feel he should retire. He's got nothing to prove. And I felt this way after Fury 2, after beating Daniel at 38. What's left? Let me know what you think. Please let me know in the comment section. I love to read them. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Paulie Malignaggi praised Usyk for how smart his boxing is. While many modern fighters focus on power or flash, Usyk uses timing, footwork, and strategy. His movements are subtle, but super effective. Just a small shift creates space or takes it away from the opponent. He doesn't need a knockout to win, he just breaks fighters down over time. His rhythm confuses, his control dominates. Malignaggi believes this is the future of boxing, brains over brawn, and Usyk is leading the way with precision, discipline, and mastery.
He stops him early. Was it 4 or 5? I don't even. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5. But man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Oleksandr Usyk. And a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land his jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches. But did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So I mean back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent. Dubois tried to come out pressuring. But and what he tries to do, he tries to create that panic in you, because he's a puncher, so he tries to create that panic to where you start moving too much. And especially at an older Usyk, maybe he'll get tired out by moving too much. But Usyk keeps his steps, his moves so short, so tight. And because they're short and tight, they're not burning a lot of energy, number one. And number two, he's able to throw punches off those moves because they're in so tight that he doesn't really lose the punching distance and punching range, on top of always being well balanced when he makes that sidestep. He likes to make that sidestep a lot to the right-hander's weak side, and he was doing that very, very well tonight. A lot of times he'll make that sidestep without punching. A lot of times he'll sidestep as he's throwing the left hand. Then he varies the left hand with a straight shot around the side. I think that's a really sneaky shot against opposing stances. I used to like to use it against southpaws as well. That wide right hand against southpaws. Obviously, the southpaw will like to use it against right-handers. Sometimes that wide left hand. Sometimes people say, "I'll throw straight right hand against a southpaw." For a southpaw, throw straight left hand against a right-hander. But if you mix them and sometimes throw wide, obviously calculating your distances correctly, it can have a lot of effect, and also it can prevent the opponent from getting not just a timing, but also a anticipation for your backhand punches, because sometimes they're coming straight and sometimes they're coming in from around the side. And I think Usyk really masters that very well. If that was a punch actually Pacquiao knocked out Hatton with, which is a wide left hand.